Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I want to share with you two of my favorite passages of Scripture, Exodus chapter 3 and 4, looking at the calling of Moses. Moses is hanging out. God appears in a bush, says, Moses, Moses. Moses responds and says, here I am. God says, take off your sandals, you're on holy ground. And then in verse 7, 8, and 9 of Exodus chapter 3, God says this. He says, I have surely seen the affliction of my people who are in Egypt and have heard their cry because of their taskmasters. I love that. God sees our affliction. He goes on and says, I know their sufferings, and I've come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians and to bring them up out of that land to a good and broad land, a land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites and the Uptites, the Termites and the Outasites. God's saying this. He's saying, you know what, Moses, I want you to rescue the people because I've got an amazing land for them. And Moses starts coming up with all these excuses. He says, God, who am I? God, if they ask me, who shall I say sent me? And God, of course, says, tell them I am who I am sent you. And he goes on and says, but what if they don't believe me? And God says to Moses, throw your staff on the ground. He throws it on the ground. It becomes a snake. He says, Moses, put your hand inside your cloak. He does. He pulls it out. It's turned to leprosy. He puts it back in, and it's totally healed. God is communicating to Moses, I'm going to give you everything you need to do the job that I've asked you to do. He again says to God, Moses says, you know what? I can't speak. What do I do? And God's like, who made your mouth? Who created the eyes? Is it not I? Moses gets to a point where he says, God, would you just send somebody else? It gets to the heart where Moses just didn't want to do it. And here's what I love about this passage. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. In other words, God's not so much interested in your ability as he is your availability. So I don't know that area of ministry that God's been encouraging you or asking you to be involved in, or that task that he's assigned you with, or that unique thing that he's saying, you know what, I just want you to do this for me. But I just want to encourage you, as easy as it is to make excuses, God's not interested in your ability as much as he is your availability, because God doesn't always call the qualified. He qualifies the called. God bless you, be encouraged, and have an awesome day.